Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor, and today we have a haunted history video, and we will be talking about the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. So I thought that it would be fun to keep my hands busy by crocheting while I tell you this story. If you like this, then let me know and I will definitely do some crafty stuff or something, keep crocheting while telling you guys these stories. But if you prefer just me sitting and telling the story, then I will do that. But yeah, this is what I'm working on. It's getting pretty big. This is a blanket. I've never made a blanket before. This is just a big granny square blanket. I just started with a granny square. I just keep making it bigger because I wanted something simple. I've crocheted lots before, but I've never done a blanket. I've only just done small little things. So I just wanted something simple that I could just easily do mindlessly. And that's what I'm doing. So today we are going to be talking about this hotel that is known as one of the most luxurious and beautiful hotels in the world. So let's get right into the building's history. So in 1883, the general manager of the Canadian Pacific Railway, William Cornelius Van Horn, thought about building a railway in the Canadian Rocky Mountains. It was at this time that many of his employees discovered multiple mineral springs in the area, and so he saw this as a great opportunity to facilitate travel along his railway. So he immediately set out on construction of this brilliant grand building that would then and still be one of the world's most luxurious hotels. The construction commenced in 1886 and concluded about 2 years later, and the hotel debuted as the Banff Fairmont Springs Hotel. In the 1900s to the 1920s, many adjustments and additions were made onto the hotel to give it its long-standing status. One of these developments was an 11-story tower designed by architect Walter Painter. This tower was beautiful and displayed many of the beautiful natural resources that Alberta had, such as limestone and woodwork. Much of this construction was compromised, though, in 1926 when an accident afflicted the entire hotel. After this, an engineer of the CPR, or the Canadian Pacific Railway, restored the hotel to its former glory, which it now still stands at to this day. The hotel endured the Great Depression, as well as many people of significance traveling through, such as King George VI and Queen Elizabeth during their royal tour of Canada in 1939. The hotel briefly shut down in 1942 due to a scarcity of workers because of World War II, and it did not reopen until 1945. It took most of the 1950s and the 1960s to rebuild its reputation. With over 100 years of history also comes tragedy and hauntings. There are countless, and I mean countless, ghost stories connected to this hotel, but here's just a few of the popular ones that I could find. Possibly the most famous ghost in all of the Fairmont Hotel is known as the Bride. She is even featured on her own coin and stamp, apparently, but I couldn't find any pictures of this, but I saw a few sources stating that, so if you guys can find it, let me know. The story goes that back in the 1920s, there was a young couple planning to get married at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. On their wedding day, the bride was all dressed up and she was walking down one of the grand marble staircases in the hotel. Something had startled her, causing her to slip and fall. Some say that her heel got caught in the hem of her dress. Others say that her dress got caught in the flame of a candle that was in a sconce on the wall. No one really knows what happens, but whatever happened that day, unfortunately, the bride passed away on that staircase. Hotel goers and staff say that they often will see a veiled figure walking up and down the staircase, or even dancing in the ballroom in search for her husband and that first dance that she never got to have. The next haunting tale is known as Sam the Bellman. Now, my best friend Sarah has apparently had some run-ins with Sam the Bellman because this hotel is not very far from where we live. I've actually been there, but I was like a little baby, so I don't remember, but Sarah has frequently visited this hotel. Basically, the story goes, Sam McCulley was an old Scotsman and the hotel's head bellman in the 1960s and the 1970s. Since his passing in 1975, there has been many stories surrounding his ghosts circulating the hotel. Sam is supposedly a helpful spirit, and he lends a helping hand to the staff and other guests around the hotel. One incident involved two elderly ladies, so they found that their key wasn't working for their door, so they rang the bellman desk for assistance, but the bellman at the time was busy and he didn't report to them until 15 minutes later. But by the time he had gotten there, they told him that another bellman matching Sam's description, wearing a plaid jacket, had helped them get into their room. Other stories include seeing Sam's ghost haunting his office, which is now a guest room on the mezzanine floor, as well as seeing cold spots and apparitions on the 6th, 7th, and 9th floors. I've also heard stories of him messing with the buttons in elevators and like hearing bells ring. Anything that has to do with like a bellman, I've heard lots of stories about him. And the last story I will share is probably the one that gives me the most chills. I actually just got chills thinking about it. And that is of the missing room 873. This is the tale of a gruesome murder-suicide that took place in room 873. There is a lot of mystery and conspiracy surrounding this incident. A lot of people believe it never happened and it was a hoax that was just meant to build popularity in the hotel, but there's proof showing that this room did exist at one point. Of course, there's not a lot of detailed reporting and there's a lot of controversy, but this is the information that I found. It is said that a man rented room 873 with his wife and daughter. Later that night, he then, one by one, killed his wife and daughter, and then himself. The hotel originally refurbished that room and renovated it and then continued renting it out, but they eventually had to close it down due to so many clients leaving and so many staff having terrifying stories of things happening in that room, such as hearing screams, seeing blood seeping from the walls, or even blood stains that will show through the paint no matter how many times they painted over it, pictures being knocked off the wall. Due to the significance of the paranormal activity in this room, they boarded it up. Eventually, they closed the room for good, removing the door and covering it with drywall so that it was flush with the rest of the wall in the hallway. According to this one source that I read, this person went to the hotel and asked the staff about it, but when they asked the staff, he found out that the staff are forbidden to talk about it, and they kind of have like a script of answers that they're supposed to give if anyone does ask about it. So these are the things that they were told. There are rooms ending in 73 on each floor, and a room is located in the same spot on the floors above and below where room 873 is. So there's nothing in the way, like no structural things that are in the way where that room would be. When walking down the hallway, there are lights, like pot lights, above each of the doors, and there is still one in the hallway above where the door to room 873 used to be. The baseboard has cuts in it along the bottom of the wall where the door used to be. And if you were to walk down the hallway and like knock on the walls, you can hear it gets hollow around the width of where the door would be, but as well as where the room would be. It starts to sound like hollow, like there's nothing behind the wall, kind of like it's just drywall. So for a hotel of such grand luxury, beauty, and significance, it really does have such a haunting past, and because it's connected to the Canadian Pacific Railway, I believe that there is a lot more history to it than this. This is just most of what I could find. There's another hotel called the Three Valley Gap near Revelstoke, which is another one that I want to do history on. I've actually been there. I went there with Sarah, where we went and just like looked around. It was closed for the season when we went, but we just walked around the hotel and around the parking lot, and we did a little spirit box session if you'd like to watch. I would love to go to the Fairmont Springs Hotel. It's still open, still running, still one of the most luxurious hotels in the world to this day. But I don't really have any reason to go to Banff. So, but if any of you go to Banff, I know it's a huge tourist attraction town. When a lot of people think of Canada, they think of Banff. If any of you go, definitely tell me if you check out the Fairmont Hotel and if you have any experiences, or if you've been and you have similar experiences, definitely share them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I would love to go investigate there one day. It's just insanely expensive because it's like a huge, grand, like 5-star luxury hotel. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you liked me crocheting as I talked. I know this video might get a little kind of like choppy or maybe seem all over the place because I kept like getting distracted and losing my train of thought as I was talking, but I will get better with practice. I definitely think actually having something to do with my hands helped me through this video. So if you liked this, let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment because that really helps me out. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!